Almost every orange cat you've ever seen in your life was probably male. Not sometimes, not usually, almost always. And if you've ever wondered why every orange cat on the internet looks like he's waiting for his turn with the shared brain cell, well, the answer is written into his DNA. And it is genuinely one of the wildest things biology has ever done. Let's talk about it. Picture the most famous orange cats you know. Garfield, lying on a Monday like it personally offended him. Puss in Boots, sword out, completely unhinged. That round-faced internet cat who looks like he has 17 opinions about your life choices and zero plans to keep them to himself. Here's the thing almost nobody talks about. The reason they're all orange, the reason this color keeps showing up on cats with maximum personality and minimum chill, comes down to a genetic coin flip. And males almost always win it. Scientists have actually measured this. Around 80% of all orange cats are male. Some studies push it higher. And buried inside that number is a story about chromosomes, color, and one very specific gene that decided to make things complicated in the most fascinating way possible. Now, before we get there, I want to tell you something. Somewhere in this video, there's a secret. A rare exception so strange that scientists actually stop what they're doing when they find one. I'll get to it. But first, you need to understand the coin flip, because once you do, everything about cats starts to look different. Every living thing is built from instructions. These instructions are called genes, and genes are stored inside tiny coiled structures inside every cell called chromosomes. Think of chromosomes like recipe books. Each one holds directions for building a creature: eye color, ear shape, fur length, everything. And here's where the orange cat mystery begins. The gene that decides whether a cat turns orange lives on one very specific chromosome, the X chromosome. Now, you probably already know that biological sex in most mammals comes down to two chromosomes. Females usually have two X chromosomes, males usually have one X and one Y. That part isn't new. But here's the part that changes everything. Because the orange gene lives on the X chromosome, males and females don't get the same number of chances to carry it. A female cat has two X chromosomes, two copies of the spot where the orange gene can sit. A male only has one X chromosome. One shot, one instruction, one color, done. For a female to be orange, both of her X chromosomes need to carry it, both of them at the same time, from both parents. Think about flipping a coin. Getting heads once, easy. Getting heads twice in a row, harder, happens way less often. That's the female orange cat situation in a single image. She has to win twice. Males only have to win once, so orange males flood the population and orange females stay rare. But wait. It gets weirder. What happens to a female cat who only wins once, who only carries the orange gene on one of her two X chromosomes? She becomes something that looks like a painting someone made with their eyes closed and their heart wide open. She becomes a tortoiseshell, swirls of orange and black and caramel all tumbling across the same body. No two look alike, because what's happening inside her cells is genuinely extraordinary. Here's the biological reason. Every female mammal, including your own mother, including you if you're female, does something called X inactivation. Because females have two X chromosomes and males only have one, the body needs to balance things out. So in every single cell, one X chromosome gets switched off, silenced, and crucially, it happens randomly. Some cells silence the X chromosome carrying the orange gene. Other cells silence the X carrying the non-orange gene. The result is a mosaic. A living patchwork where different cells are following different instructions. Some cells make orange pigment, some cells make black pigment, and the cat ends up wearing them both at the same time in patterns so complex and so individual that they function almost like a fingerprint. If you have an orange cat right now at home, here's something to try. Look closely at the base of the fur in bright light. You'll probably see stripes hiding there, even on cats that look solid orange. Almost every orange cat carries what's called a Tabby pattern, a separate gene that creates swirls and stripes and spots. And even when it doesn't fully show, it leaves ghost stripes behind. The pattern is written into them. It just doesn't always speak up. The orange is front and center, but underneath, the tabby is always there, quiet and permanent, like a signature the cat can't quite erase. And this is actually the perfect moment to ask yourself something. What is orange fur biologically? Where does it come from? Cats produce two main types of pigment. There's eumelanin, which is the dark pigment, responsible for blacks and browns, and there's pheomelanin, which is the warm pigment, responsible for reds and oranges and yellows. Here's the biological off-switch moment. The orange gene essentially tells the cells to stop producing eumelanin entirely and switch over to pheomelanin only. The dark color doesn't just fade, it gets turned off. The warmth replaces the depth completely. So orange cats aren't just orange. They're cats where the darkness has been switched off at the cellular level and warmth has been dialed all the way up, which honestly feels like it explains a lot about their personalities too. Now, here's the mid-video moment I promised you. If you are one of the lucky few with an orange female cat, pause right now and drop her name in the comments. I genuinely want to know how many we can find, because statistically, you are holding something uncommon. Your orange female cat had to win the genetic coin flip twice, once from each parent, and she still showed up fully orange and probably completely unbothered about how rare she is. Drop her name. I'll wait. Okay, now for the rare exception I mentioned at the beginning. Orange tortoiseshell cats exist, and they are so unusual that when a veterinarian or a geneticist actually finds one, the reaction isn't just surprise, it's scientific excitement. Because a male tortoiseshell shouldn't be possible by normal rules. Males only have one X-chromosome. They can only carry one instruction for color. They can't carry the split instruction that creates the patchwork. And yet, roughly 1 in every 3,000 tortoiseshell cats is male. So how does it happen? Almost always, it comes down to a chromosomal difference that occurs during the earliest moments of development. Instead of the usual single X and single Y, the cat ends up with 2 X chromosomes and 1 Y. Written out, XXY. Enough X chromosomes to carry 2 different color instructions. Enough of the split to create the tortoiseshell pattern, but also a Y chromosome, which is why they're biologically male. These cats are almost always sterile, and they are, in every genetic sense, genuinely extraordinary. Not just unusual, extraordinary. A living example of biology doing something that wasn't supposed to happen and doing it beautifully. There's one more layer to this story that most people never hear. The way the orange gene behaves, sitting on the X chromosome, expressing differently depending on how many copies you carry, that's called sex-linked inheritance. And it's not just a cat thing. It's one of the fundamental mechanisms of genetics across almost every mammal on Earth. Color blindness in humans follows the exact same rules. It's far more common in men than women for the same reason orange fur is far more common in male cats. The gene lives on the X chromosome. Males only get one shot at it. So when you're watching an orange cat do absolutely nothing with total commitment, you're watching a living demonstration of the same genetic principle that helped scientists understand inherited conditions in humans. The same logic that fills biology textbooks, the same mechanism that doctors use to explain why certain traits run through families in specific patterns. It's all there, visible in the fur, free to look at any time. Which brings us to the last part of this story, the part that isn't science at all. Orange cats have always had a hold on people. Ancient Egyptians painted them, medieval artists included them in manuscripts, the internet made them gods. And through all of it, across thousands of years and thousands of miles of human history, the orange ones kept showing up, kept getting noticed, kept getting named and loved and turned into legends. Maybe it's the color. Orange is warm. It's the color of fire and autumn and late afternoon light when the whole world looks like it's glowing from the inside. The human eye is drawn to it. The human heart apparently trusts it. There are actual studies suggesting people assume orange cats are friendlier, more approachable, more likely to be the kind of cat who will sit on you uninvited and somehow make that feel like a compliment. Whether or not orange cats actually are friendlier doesn't matter nearly as much as the fact that we've believed it for centuries. And here's the thought I want to leave you with. The next time you see an orange cat, anywhere, on a sidewalk or a couch or a corner of the internet, stop for just 1 extra second. Statistically, it's probably male. Genetically, it's the result of one successful coin flip in a game of cellular probability. Historically, it's part of a lineage of warm-colored cats who have been sitting beside humans since before recorded history decided to write anything down. And it has absolutely no idea how interesting it is. Which, honestly, is the most orange cat thing of all.